top 6 facts of human rights history, briefly introduce whole chapters of my book, Pro-Life Equals Pro-Democracy. Together they make a brief introduction to what I call Pro-Life 2.0, Pro-Life Equals Pro-Democracy, proving in only minutes that in fact pro-life equals pro-democracy and pro-choice equals pro-totalitarianism. Pro-choice political parties worldwide are passing laws and policies restricting democratic freedoms of speech, expression, conscience, assembly, and religion of pro-life human rights advocates and of doctors who will not kill, and making it a crime to defend human life or to criticize the government, like in totalitarian states. In a healthy free democracy, citizens will always have the democratic freedom of speech to stand up for human rights, to freely speak the clear science and logic and human rights history which prove pro-life equals pro-democracy. And in a healthy democracy, we will always have the freedom to freely speak the foundational principles of human rights and democracy, like killing humans is wrong because human rights are for all humans, and equal human preciousness governments are obligated to protect. Yet this human rights author, scholar, and logician can be arrested for this in his country. Others have been arrested just for being known pro-lifers upholding free speech, because legal abortion throughout history is a hallmark of totalitarian governments, and pro-choice governments ending free democracy is the only possible way to keep human-killing abortion legal long-term. Science. Every human life is the same, unique, living, individual, biological human organism with absolutely unique human DNA, utterly distinct from his or her parents at every age and stage of his or her human life cycle, from zygote to senior adult. All of the following terms are commonly used to describe this same objective scientific reality. Everyone, people, human, human life, human being, human person, adult, teenager, senior, man, woman, male, female, child, toddler, baby, pregnancy, fetus, embryo, handicapped, disabled, healthy, Jew, Gentile, black, white. It is intellectually dishonest and logically inconsistent and unsound, not to mention bigoted, to treat the same objective reality of a human life differently, having different value and rights, based on the mere choice of different wording to describe the same underlying human existence, which is what human being means. Only bigots deny human personhood to human beings. Logic. Perfectly sound and scientific logical syllogism. All humans have human rights. Preborn humans are humans. Therefore, preborn humans have human rights. All pro-choice arguments are logical fallacies of distraction which, with intellectual dishonesty, avoid the question of the human rights of the humans killed in abortions. Intellectually dishonest pro-choicers have to vigorously avoid science and logic and never broach the question of human rights, but only distract away from it, because as soon as they admit the obvious established science that preborn humans are humans, logic demands that they admit all humans have human rights, preborn humans are humans, therefore preborn humans have human rights, and abortion violates their basic human rights. Further, logic tells us if preborn humans do not have an inherent human right to live, then neither do any of us have an inherent human right to live, since all of us started our human lives as preborn humans. But the inherent human right to live is foundational to free democracy, as demonstrated by the top 6 facts of human rights history, which I will give next. The top 6 facts of human rights history that prove pro-life equals pro-democracy and pro-choice equals pro-totalitarianism. Fact 1. Legal, pro-choice abortion and totalitarian government were both normal in ancient times before there were any legally recognized human rights, and human life was cheap, not precious, and served the greater state. Fact 2. Legal human rights started with the 4th century criminalization of abortion due to the ancient Christian pro-life principle that all humans are equally precious, not cheap, implicitly establishing the inherent human right to live, which state governments are obligated to protect. Fact 3. Preborn humans were protected in the womb by Western law or custom from the 4th century until the 20th century decriminalization of abortion, first by the evil extremist left Soviet and extremist right Nazi parties. Pro-choice versus pro-life is not a matter of political left versus right, but a matter of fundamentally totalitarian extremist thinking, which supports human killing, versus fundamentally democratic thinking, which supports human protection. Fact 4. In 1948, the free world condemned legal abortion as a crime against humanity at the Nuremberg war crimes trials. Also in 1948, the free world affirmed that doctors do not kill humans from the time of conception in the Declaration of Geneva. And the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights declared human rights are for all humans, quote, without distinction of any kind, because recognition of the inherent dignity and of the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family is the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace in the world. In 1948, the West still knew killing humans is wrong, and that human freedom from totalitarianism depends upon these pro-life values. Fact 5. The Free West, uneducated in the above facts of human rights history, ignorantly followed the totalitarian precedent of legal human killing abortion and is now showing the logical totalitarian fruit, with pro-choice political parties in power passing totalitarian laws against free speech, etc. I can be arrested and jailed in my country for saying killing humans is wrong. Fact 6. Legal slavery and legal abortion are both fundamentally incompatible with democracy, since both deny the equal human preciousness and equal human rights for all humans which ground democracy. As with slavery, either legal abortion or democracy will end because they are entirely incompatible. In the light of established facts of human rights history, biological science, and sound logic, it is clear the West needs more accurate terms to clarify the essence of the central dispute of our time. So where do you stand on the current human rights for all humans debate, which up until now has been known as the abortion debate? Do you believe in equal human rights for all humans, or do you believe human rights can and should be denied to some humans, as with slavery, death camps, human killing abortion, and human killing euthanasia? That is, are you pro-human right to live or pro-choice to kill humans? Are you a pro-life human rights advocate, or are you a pro-choice bigot who, like all bigots, chooses just which humans you accept as humans with equal human value and rights and which humans you do not value equally? These more accurate terms leave less room for the pro-choice to kill humans side's intellectually dishonest tendency to be illogical and unscientific and pretend that humans are not killed in abortions. They are, and killing humans is wrong, no exceptions. It is important to understand that pro-choice abortion is a not even remotely intellectually defensible position for any honest intellect which has been properly educated in science, logic, and human rights history. And legal abortion is a completely untenable position in a free democracy which claims to uphold human rights, which have to be for all humans or they are meaningless. As shown in much more detail in my books, Pro-Life Equals Pro-Democracy, Democracy 101, Killing Humans is Wrong, and No Fruit Without Roots, all by William Baptiste, founder of Human Rights and Freedoms Forever and the Intellectual Honesty Challenge. You can become knights of human rights and ladies of lasting democracy by learning this human rights education for lasting free democracy, which here is introduced in mere minutes. Go to WilliamBaptisteHumanRightsAndFreedomsForever.com to learn more, to make donations for democracy, or to order Pro-Life Equals Pro-Democracy or other books featuring William Baptiste's Human Rights Education for Lasting Free Democracy.